For this solve, what I would do is I would just keep it in its orientation. I see that this piece is gonna go in here, so it will be yellow, red to be my V. Yeah, green centers, so U, L, R, yellow, red. I did not see this in my inspection, so I would just go, look, solve this piece. Now I would think about yellow, red, but then while doing that, I saw this piece. So then I decided to just do that. When you see this block, you can just do that. Unless the block is a solid block, but it's not. So that block, and then you got this easy L4E case. As we know now, everything's on, there's a block at the back. Then you see that the piece is here and it's connected. So it's just, and then tips.
On the first scramble, I will do blue, and the blue and red piece. It's one move away from the center, which is here. But while I do that, I'll fix the tip at the same time. So move the tip, put it to the center, then bring the center to the right place, fix the tip, move it with the other center, and then fix that tip. Put this edge in here, bring it up. So now I'll bring this edge to here, and then the last layer. Done.
Okay, for this first scramble, I don't notice anything really that great first off, but what I'd probably end up doing is finding a somewhat efficient V on yellow. So these three centers are down like this, which is actually pretty bad. So what I would do first of all is, with this edge down on the bottom, slot that in to here, doing this tip at the start, and move this center up, also bringing this edge into its solved spot, and holding it in this position because I know the edge, the L4E edge is going to come down here. I'm going to hold it like this and solve this center just to preserve this, and then put this in. At the same time, I would be looking at the edge. Come up to here, I put this edge into for L4E, and I'm left with the 3 cycle.
Nothing really stands out to me at first, so I'd probably do blue though. So what I'd do first is I'd do an R to connect this piece with its 2 centers. Then I'd do an L to put these 2 centers together. Then I'd rotate and do UL to finish the V. And for this L4E case, it isn't great, so I probably just insert the piece and then 2-flip and tips.
Okay, so for the first scramble, I decided to do green because I saw this edge can go in this slot in 2 moves, like that. And I was also tracking these 2 edges, and I noticed that neither of them could really easily be put in. So I basically solved the 3 tips while doing that. And then I ended up doing this edge, although looking at it now, this edge would have ended up with a better solution, but I did this one because I had to think on the spot. And then I did L4E by taking this edge, putting it in this back slot like that, doing a U, and then finishing with a sledgehammer and an AUF.
Like this one is connected, but this one is like flipped. So when it's flipped, first turn is going to be flipped, the second turn it's not going to flip. Do the L prime first before doing the R. If you do the R first, then it screws it up, and even you need to do L prime and R to put this piece in here anyway. So I can see this piece is going to go in here, and it's going to do an orientation where blue's on the bottom, red's in front. So I need to think about that blue-red in my head. I tried to explain. There we go. Right, now we're here. So now we got the blue-red piece to go in. We see blue-red. This is the piece that needs to go in eventually. And if we do U, it's just gonna go in flipped. So no, that's not what you want. So and then you do L, do a U prime. There's no block here and the pieces here, so we can just do R U prime R prime, no AOF, tips.
So this scramble is a lot better. I think I'll do green. So I see that there's a block here. So I'll fix this tip, bring this center up, fix that tip, and then bring the center up, and the V's already made. Next I will put this edge to here, and then last layer.
Okay, with this second scramble, there's a solved edge here, which I always look for, and that's with red and green. So I had a look at red and green, and green you could see is better because there's an edge here that all the centers are down, by the way. There's a center here, center here, center here. When you put this one up, it gives you two solved edges, and that's not in the way of solving this. So how I would hold it is something like this, where I can solve this center, do these two with the two solved edges, which gives me my V, and I would look ahead to this piece, holding it somewhere like this position, probably doing tips at the same time. So then that would make me easily be able to come up and solve this edge, and I already know it's going to be a 2 flip, so I can kind of cancel into that. See, did that wrong accidentally, and then AUF. When I've got lucky solves like that, I always find it's useful to look ahead as far as you can into the L4E case, and that'll make for a much faster solve and much more fluid solve.
Okay, so I can see this block, so I'm going to build off that. I'll do green because I see a pretty easy V. So what I do is I do an L prime to make this 1x3 block, I guess. Then I do a UR to finish the V. And then this is another kind of not great L4E case, so I probably just do something like that and tips.
And so for the second solve, I also did green. This one, I think it was more obvious to do green because this edge was solved and this edge could be put in easily with one move. So basically I one-looked this solve because I saw that this green edge would end up here, and I wouldn't be doing anything to rotate these centers. This edge would end up where this edge needs to be. So basically I was able to see what the L4E case was going to be based on that information alone. So I did the solve by first doing these two moves and then that kind of thing. And then this L4E case, I guess the alg, if you want to call it an alg, it's pretty intuitive. What I do is I put this piece up here to solve it, and then finish by doing a sledge and then an insertion. So I actually really like that case. It has two like L2s as opposed to L primes or like R2s or something like that. But it's really fast to finger trick. I'll just show it real quick. So the best way I think to finger trick that case is by doing this like that.